Alrighty, so we are back. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about Jimmy Dore. Now, Jimmy Dore has uploaded some anti-Trump videos recently, like 3 or 4 of them, 4 to 5 of them. They were just sort of, talking about any normal news story, really, with basically, just talking about it from a progressive point of view, which is sort of the point of all of the lefty news channels, right? If you look at like Secular Talk's channel, it's got just a bunch of news stories that he's talking about, and they all got massive backlash, a lot of backlash. So much, by the way, that he had to pin a comment on all of those videos. Now, this one I'm looking at right now says the title of the video is Ocasio-Cortez smacks down Trump after speech. Now, this video has 3,000 likes, but it has 1.3 thousand dislikes. Now, that would be a reasonable number if it was an actual controversial video. So what do I mean by that? So what I mean by that is, if you're a lefty progressive channel, let's say you make a video, going after Ben Shapiro, and then a bunch of Ben Shapiro's, fanboys and cult followers come in to dislike the video. That's understandable. Same thing with whoever, Dave Rubin or Jordan Peterson, whoever it may be, right? But in the context of a lefty news show, there's not supposed to be a big resistance to you just reporting a story with a progressive slant. So if you go on Kyle's videos over on Secular Talk, they barely have any dislikes. And it's for an obvious reason, because the people subscribed to him are lefties. So when they see it and it's an anti-Trump video with, just giving a progressive point of view, it's not going to have massive backlash like that because their subscribers are not right-wing. Same thing on a Pacman video, Cedar video, whoever you want to say. But that is a horrible like to dislike on a video just talking about a news story. So I know there's a video that he has where he goes after Ben Shapiro and calls him out with that whole dumb furniture comment, and that's at like 11K likes, 10K dislikes. That's a reasonable ratio. That's actually a good ratio in the context of, wow, there's a progressive channel who gets raided by a bunch of Ben Shapiro fuckfaces and still able to have more likes and dislikes. That's actually a good like to dislike ratio. This is horrible. That's a horrible like to dislike ratio. And then, the comments are just filled with a bunch of idiots. Now, let me read you guys. He actually wrote this specific comment on each of the videos and pinned it. I'm going to read you guys what the comment says. Now, he says, Republicans had complete control of government for 2 years, and they didn't pass a bill for a border wall. I wonder why that is. This is Trump playing you his base by getting you to believe there is a, quote, crisis at our border when none exists, and then you get you foaming at the mouth for a wall he didn't even bother to try and build when he had complete control of government. Nope, only when he knew the Democrats would block it did he then pretend to really want to get it built. If you believe that, you're a sucker. He wants to use the wall as an issue to manipulate his base whenever needed. Building it would take away his biggest talking point. And he ends it by saying, FYI, 2/3 of undocumented immigrants entered the U.S. legally, and then simply overstayed their visas. If you legitimately are concerned about the issue of undocumented immigrants, as opposed to just exacerbating and exploiting fear-mongering for political gain, then this is where you would focus, not the border. Totally reasonable response, makes 100% sense to me. He actually brings up a really good point, which is that, now all of a sudden Trump is trying to spearhead this. But hold on, they had a unified government, guys. All 3 branches were controlled. Or sorry, not all 3 branches. You had the House Republican, you had the Senate Republican, and you had the presidency as Republican. Not all 3 branches, but you got the 2 houses, and then you have the president, all Republican. The House of Representatives, the Senate, and the presidency is all Republican. And you weren't spearheading it then, but now you're spearheading it. And it's because it's all, just giving, feeding your base basically is what it is. He's right about that, 100%. And then he talks about how, hey, most of the, illegal immigrants come in here and overstay their visas. It doesn't have anything to do with the wall. And seems like a totally reasonable response to me, and it makes sense. But if you go, like, one of the comments on this video says, "What in the hell are you talking about, Jimmy?" One of them says, "Wrong, Jimmy," and then they go on to give their spiel on whatever. Um, there's just a bunch of these. I mean, here's here's a funny one. Hold on, I have to read it. This one says, "Let's all move to Jimmy's living room and have him pay for our healthcare and schooling. If he says no, he's racist." By the way, when people would immigrate to the U.S. decades ago, blah 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 blah. Dude, who says that and thinks it's a good counterpoint? Let's all move into Jimmy's house. Let's all move into his living room and have him pay for our healthcare and schooling. How is that? Like, I've seen people like Dinesh D'Souza go like, "Oh, take refugees into your house." How does anyone say that with a straight face and legitimately think that's a good point? Like, wow, dude, you really owned me there, man. Oh my gosh. Because having immigrants come into the country, a huge country with an it's not well distributed, obviously the funds that we have and everything, but there certainly is room for people to come in and live here. But because Jimmy won't take them in his living room for obvious reasons, that we shouldn't have immigration to the United States, it's a really insanely dumb argument. And there's just a bunch of, here's one, it says, "I want lots of things. According to your logic, Jimmy, I should just walk into a mansion and live there. All I want is what they have." So, again, just a bunch of idiot right-wing morons who are subscribed to Jimmy's channel who have just been totally triggered by these videos. And this one isn't the only one. Like I said, there are multiple of them. Another one was Trump downgrades wall to steel barrier. That one didn't do very well either, and it had a bunch of backlash because, of course, it was about Donald Trump and it was not pro-Trump. This other one says data proves Trump wrong. Most immigrants enter legally, and a bunch of people were going off in his comment section, and it was just, it's not looking good in terms of that. So the question really becomes, well, how did Jimmy get so many right-wing fans in the first place? Now, I have my theory, but you guys can let me know if I'm missing something or if I'm wrong. But if I had to give my guess, it would be that he's made a lot of pro-Tucker Carlson videos. And he had that one Tucker Carlson video that gave him a huge, massive boost in subscribers. I don't remember the exact number of subscribers he gained, but the video got over 600,000 views. So it was the one about Tucker going against Trump on Syria. So my belief is that really since then, because if you just type in Jimmy Dore Tucker Carlson, there's a bunch of videos that come up where he's praising Tucker Carlson in one way or another. And I'm going to make another video, I believe, about him and how he falls for Tucker Carlson's propaganda, because that is what he does. I know that he had a video where he praises Tucker Carlson for what he said about how, Amazon and Walmart have the money to pay their workers, but they won't, and they're on food stamps, and that's bad. But he doesn't give all the context and doesn't even show the second part of the clip where Tucker Carlson says that, they're monopolies and we need to let go of government regulation. Not higher minimum wage, not more regulation, not break them up. That's not the answer. No. The answer is less government regulation. That's lunacy. That's lunacy, guys. So I'm going to go get into that in another video, not this one. But it is really remarkable to see all of these people getting triggered over Jimmy's videos, because it's like, what did you expect? The guy's a progressive. What, he's not going to do videos going against Donald Trump, which is the most boneheadedly obvious thing to do, considering it's Donald Trump? Doesn't make any sense. And so you can go and look at the comments if you so choose. But I definitely wanted to mention that. Like I said, there are like 3 or 4 videos that he did. One of them is data proves Trump wrong. Most immigrants enter legally. Another one is Trump downgrades wall to steel barrier. And so basically, all he's relegated to doing on his channel that doesn't receive massive backlash, to where he has to pin a comment in the comment section because of all of the backlash that he's getting in response. He's the issue of response, effectively, is all he can do is just keep going after corporate Democrats. And I'm afraid that this is going to push him more towards that angle where it's great to criticize corporate Democrats. I'm actually going to go on to do it in another video soon. But when that's all you do, it becomes redundant and it becomes ridiculous considering the context of what's going on right now. But I'm afraid that he's going to be pushed more towards that direction. I hope that's not the case. I hope that he doesn't just continue to do that because that's all that he's able to do. He's got a video. It says Twitter hilariously memes Pelosi and Schumer's response because obviously they look like parents giving their kids a grounding and it was embarrassing. But, that one got real good ratings and real good response. So he's going to be incentivized to do more of that. And his fans are not fans, his right-wing fans, I should say, are not fans of Ocasio-Cortez. Also, some of his left-wing ones are too. I've seen some of them be like, oh, AOC's a sellout, which is insane. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that and bring that up.